Hello Taurus, welcome to your monthly forecast. I'm Nicholas Ashbaugh. This can be used for Sun, Rising Moon, and Venus, and it's going to help you navigate the next 6 to 8 weeks. I begin all of my readings with channeled messages, and your messages today came from this beautiful dream that I awoke from early this morning, and it was one of those where I could remember just about every detail. So I paid special attention to that. What I noticed was, first and foremost, the expansiveness of this house that I was walking through. Basically, it was a liminal space, and to me, the house represented the construction or the opportunities that you're creating. It's your own sort of house of love and business and life in general, if you will. Now, the only thing that I was picking up on was there were elements of someone else's energy or someone else that had been in the house before. So for anybody that has purchased an old place that you need to renovate, you know what I mean. I remember this when my family bought a house on the East Coast, and we pulled down wallpaper, and then there was like another type of wallpaper and another one under that, and then bad paint beneath that. It's like we had to get through several layers and then patch everything up and then put on a fresh coat of paint. So in your own life, what those layers can be, it's kind of like a ship going through the water where it acquires barnacles, and you have to pull off what family might be expecting from you, what society might be fearing or projecting upon you, what your friends may be putting out there as what is acceptable, etc. It's a chance to strip it of all of that and get to the bones, get to the foundation of the building or the foundation of your life, and really think, what is it that I want to build in this space? You are the artist. You are the construction specialist, basically the contractor. You're the one that gets to design the space. Don't let other people's energy stick around in there when you're in this creative process. So at its core, this was showing me a house or a space of possibilities, but some residual energy that needed to be clear. And that's the big takeaway, is clearing your mind, clearing your energy, then holding space and having a great time in the designing, in the imagining phase, which follows. Finally, when I exited the house, I was met with guides that basically encouraged me to reevaluate my expenditure of time and energy. The reason that this is so important is oftentimes we are stretched in too many directions, and we don't give ourselves enough time to basically explore the opportunities. Free yourself up of anybody or anything where you're not feeling a return on what you're investing. Explore and open up those new windows and doors of opportunities. Let go of things that you never really needed to hold on to because it was just projected upon you. And in doing so, this is a month of potential, and that's what I want to help you look at. So let's go to the cards now and see what the potential holds for the next 6 to 8 weeks. All right, I'm going to remain quiet while I pull all of the cards here, and we can see what's coming through in this period of time. All right, let's take a look at what we've got here. We're going to begin with your catalyst. Your catalyst card is the metal sheep, and as always, the catalyst creates change, action, and movement in your life. If we read the caption on this one, it is foresight and careful planning. The more research you do, the more thought you put into the planning phase, the less revisions, the less course correction, the less catch up you have to do later. It's well worth your organization and your research skills now, because what you're going to do is save yourself from reinventing the wheel. We literally have the Wheel of Fortune at the center. The other thing here is when we think of metal, it's easy to basically heat it up, create a structure, and set it into place at the beginning. But if you had to go in and change the form later after you build things, it's a lot harder, it's a lot messier. So do the structural work now, do the research now, and reap the rewards later. Whenever I get a sheep as a totem, it's also showing that this will set you apart in your leadership abilities. Others will follow you. I see this as indicative of someone that is going to follow the leader, your herd or your flock. So this is a way for you to come across as someone that is easy to get behind because you've done the homework, you've done the thinking, and people just feel this sense of security and certainty, which is something that's always good in a leader. Let's take a look at your center card. We have a Wheel of Fortune. The card is reversed. It's basically the universe coming in and it's saying, now is a perfect time to make a change in your finances, in your general trajectory, and it's encouraging you to have some patience with it. I love that we have the equivalent of that wheel that you would see behind a ship, and the bigger the ship, the longer it takes for the ship to basically react to any steering changes. The same is true of a car. You have to sort of give a larger vehicle a little bit more time and space to make a necessary turn. So if you've been in a current trajectory, let's say you've been on a career path for 10 years and you want to make a change, it takes a little bit more time and planning. Therefore, that's why we saw the metal sheep, foresight and careful planning to make that change. The great thing about the wheel is it keeps turning, and as long as you continue to put your energy in a focused area, you should start to see a return on it. And that focus piece is super important because crossing this was the magician. And the magician can do just about anything that they set their mind to. However, it is important to stay focused and to believe. Magic works because you believe it. I have a line in my book also that kind of helps us rethink our relationship with magic, which is, it's just a new truth waiting to be discovered. We call it magic because we don't understand it, but it is faith, it is belief, it is manifestation, and we wrap it up under the word magic. So know this, you can make the change happen this month. It might require a little bit of cranking of that Wheel of Fortune, but lo and behold, you can get there. You have to believe in it, and you have to do what is authentic to you. And that is why I saw that necessity of taking off the barnacles on the ship or the wallpaper in the house, clear it and make it your own. Put your own sort of thumbprint on things. Magician energy is really good for learning new things. So if there's something this particular month where you want to increase your skills or go back to school or study under someone, you have the potential here to really absorb that and make the most of it. And this is also encouraging you to make the most of the situation. Let's look at karmically what might be entering into the picture right now. You receive the Eight of Swords. It is reversed. That is beneficial because as you can see, as you can see in the upright position, it's basically someone that is having a hard time seeing potential. They only see what isn't there. So this card is saying, just like I kind of threw it on the floor and saw it from a different angle, look at something from a different perspective and focus on possibilities, not on just closing the doors. This is a month of opening your eyes, opening your heart, opening windows and doors of opportunity and exploring. If you can't see it, research, ask questions, and try a different direction. You don't have to keep going. It's kind of like pushing against a brick wall and expecting something to change. Go up, go down, go left, go right. There may be a block in front of you, but that doesn't mean everything is blocked. So this is basically looking beyond a block, getting a little bit more comfortable with a certain level of ambiguity, and then basically unshackling yourself from others' thoughts, because this can be others that have sort of thought themselves into or painted themselves into a corner or thought themselves into a prison, but you're not going to do that this month. You're going to say, all right, maybe that didn't work before, but how about this and how about that? Look at other options and other routes. The house had many doors, many corridors. If this room isn't to your liking, look elsewhere. All right, we have the Knight of Pentacles. It is reversed, but it's in the recent past here. So many of you have already moved through this or you're just about to move through it. Whenever a knight is reversed, it isn't a full stop, it's more of like a pause, and it's a chance to reevaluate. So Pentacles is about time, energy, and money. So some of you are thinking, is this worth it? And I talked about the return on investment of energy. If you're in a relationship, are you getting what you're giving? If you're working, are you getting paid based on the sort of energy and level of experience that you're offering? And in general, do you like the speed, the velocity, the surrounding of where you're at in life? And if you don't, this is a chance to turn around and say, you know what, I really want to explore this, because we don't use the phrase life is short on this channel. We use life is finite. We don't know how long or how short we have, so we make every moment count. And if you're not enjoying now, and if you're constantly kind of wishing to the end of the week or the end of the month or the end of the year until you can get through something, it's a wake-up call, and it's a chance to think, what do I want? What do I need? And you can ask for it. A knight reverse will go to someone and say, this is what we need to make this happen. I hear your request, but we're short here. Can I count on you? Or they can say, I am really happy when this happens, but I'm not when this is going on. What can we do to fix it? Or I have an idea for improvement. It's communicating likes and dislikes, coming to the table with suggestions. It's active. It's very, very involved. And then once you can communicate your need, lo and behold, a lot of times you get what you're asking for. And if we look here at your outcome cards, they're pretty good. In the near future and the ultimate outcome, we have a celebration card here. We have a manifestation card here. So please ask if you see something that's lacking. Please speak up if you see something that's wrong. This is a month where you can sort it out and fix it. You have the Two of Wands in the crowning position, and this is showing the importance of what we talked about with the catalyst, which was planning and really imagining things. This also is so positive when it is coupled with Magician and High Priestess energy. The Magician is upright, so it feels like many of you believe in your skills, but you may be a little bit of uncertain or unsure if it's all going to come together. Believe in yourself. This is belief and faith. This is manifestation. This is the planning. It looks like you've been doing a lot of the work. You may just not have had the support. You may have had people in the past that lacked the vision or the imagination, in which case you're being asked to just trust in your own vision now. Get out the map. That's what this particular card is saying. Get out the map, the drawing board. Think about things that you want to do. Spend some time having fun, going like, what if, why not? Think in that form and in that context. And maybe for those of you that are grown up and adult and have been working a long time, but just haven't had someone coming through saying, well, what do you want to do? What's making you happy? What's your hopes and dreams? What do you want to do as you grow older? Not just when you grow up, like what's the next big chapter? We don't just have one thing. We don't ever stop growing up. We continue growing. So what's the next thing that you want to do on your growth cycle? And that's really what this card is asking you. I can't tell you, but I can tell you this. If you get some clarity on this, we can start to see some movement. We have an ace here in the environment. First things first, we got to deal with the High Priestess. One of the best cards in the major arcana. She can make it happen, but if she's reversed, she is in a state of doubt, disbelief, or she's distracted. So we want to focus on making sure that that's not happening. Let me see if there's anything else that I want to look at with this particular one. I really like how she's holding that center book there. So for some of you, when it gets put into writing is when the magic really starts to happen. So have you done any sort of journaling or whiteboarding or planning, or have you, it can also be in the communication of it. So either speak it, write it, or somehow demonstrate it so that you're bringing it from the third eye, from the heart, out into the physical world. That's when you can also then get other people excited about what you have to offer, and they can start to understand your idea a little bit more. This card can also connect with spiritual development, psychic phenomenon. This is a time to really work on your own sort of creative, psychic, and intuitive skills if you'd like to. Again, highly creative and also a really powerful card. So when it comes to business and relationships, there's a lot of magnetic energy here. People are going to be taking note of you, as we can see with the Three of Cups, and it's generally positive. Before moving forward this month, there's a little bit of healing that needs to be done. Your card this month is the Three of Swords. This is representing how you're showing up. So this could simply be something from the past, an old residual energy, which I talked about in the channeled message, where it's time to just sort of say, I've been feeling this for a while. I understand why I went through it. I also understand how it helped me change my trajectory. Sometimes we need a disappointment, rejection, a flat out sort of dead end in order for us to look at other ways that we can thrive. So there's something that didn't work out, but there's something here that wants to come through. Once you can see the initial rejection as a form of redirection, protection, or opportunity, that's when things start to get interesting. You realize that the universe has your back, that you are constantly being nudged. Sometimes it's really positively, sometimes it has to sting. And we go through things like the Three of Swords, the Ten of Swords, or the Tower, so that we absolutely won't stay. It's only sometimes when we've overstayed our welcome that the universe will do that. And it's like any of our reactions. If you touch something hot, you go, ouch, and you stop. Sometimes we need to feel the ouch in the heart space, kind of like that old E.T. movie, in order for us to move in a path that makes us feel really happy. And I think the opportunity this month as we look at where you are and where the outcome is to move from the pain to the celebration. And even looking at something that once hurt as something that one day could be the biggest and most important thing that we experienced because it changed what you're doing now. I've talked about this before and it's appropriate here, but this is a long time ago now because my father passed away in like 2014, but it was his passing that initially got me sick of the corporate career and ready to kind of move on because I was like, there's no more time for me to waste. I have to do things that are important now. And each time I've gone through a really difficult thing, whether it's not getting the job that I wanted, losing a parent, just having even an injury in the body, I've noticed that there have been really important life changes that have resulted from those painful moments where I'm stronger and happier and better 3, 6, 8, 12 months out. I don't always see it in the moment, but I do see it later. Give yourself some time. It may not be obvious why this happened now, but we can see celebration, opportunity, and healing here in the outcome and in the near future. But let's look at your environment first. Ace of Wands. Just as a simple read before we talk about the reversal, Ace of Wands is good. This is an opportunity. This is ideation, like new ideas. It can be a light bulb moment, aha, an epiphany. It can also be someone who is really interested in you, kind of like we would sometimes see with the Lovers card. With it in reverse, however, it's mirroring something that's going on with you. And this can be fatigue, like a lack of vitality, a lack of inspiration. It can also be an inability to allow yourself to mentally explore new things because of what we've talked about here. Pain or a lack of imagination from those around you, or a necessity for you to basically make a necessary move first. Whatever is holding you back, know this. It won't take long for things to get into a better space because this wants to push through. So I think if you can open yourself up just a little bit and explore, this is why the research thing is important. Talk around, look around, give yourself time to take a vacation if you haven't already, because on the heels of the Three of Swords, some self-care is overdue, and I can tell you that will be well worth the time and energy. A new job, a new idea, a new opportunity is knocking. Are you ready to answer the door? That's really what Spirit is saying. Give yourself a chance to explore a dream if you haven't done so in the past. Now is the time. Now, as we take a look at your hopes, fears, and opportunities, it's really around movement and more specifically around the speed with which you're moving. Because we see here a motorized, like a speedboat basically, right? And for some of you, you may feel like if I make a change in my life right now, how much time will it take to do that? Again, fixating on the time rather than the reason, rather than trusting in your ability to make it happen, you'll be able to make up for lost time later. It's important to focus on the direction, the purpose, and what your heart desires. If we look at this particular illustration, which is from the Robin Wood deck, I love it because we see a little spirit or a ghost here in the past. And it really does connect with the healing element of this. And sometimes we're carrying something that hasn't been fully processed emotionally. So if you are dealing with this Three of Swords energy, and it is something that just gets under your skin, or it's sort of persistent in your heart or your head, it's maybe a chance to talk to someone and help kind of like get that energy cleared. And there's a question whenever the Six of Swords comes through. Are you going to be the one steering the ship, or are you the passenger? That's even easier to see when we look at the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith card. So there's someone steering it, and there's people that are letting them kind of take them to the next destination. So how active is your leadership? How active is your participation? How much are you pushing forward the next phase of your journey? Because if you take an active role this month, particularly with the Magician and the High Priestess card, you can really start to see some stuff happening. And that leads us to the outcome, which is a celebratory card, the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups could be a new person, a new opportunity, something worth having a party or being joyous about that's just within reach. It's just on the horizon. And we even see here that the Ace of Wands is here in the environment, but it is almost inviting you to reach out and seize the opportunity. So are you ready to seize the opportunity? Are you ready to try something new? For those of you looking for love, the Three of Cups can represent a new person. It can represent also the ability to put yourself out there again. And it's really a question of what your comfort level is with that as well. Know this, that if you're ready to be seen, the Three of Cups is basically the universe coming through. It's like the Lovers, it's a magnetic energy, and some new connections can definitely come through in this period of time. Let's go ahead now and we're going to expand the forecast, looking at the energy of health, wealth, love, and destiny. I always like to begin with health, which is your mind, body, and spirit. Your card for health this month is Explore, and this reminds me of two cards put together. So we just talked about the Six of Swords. You can see the boat there. If we look at this card upright, we can see the boat. But it also reminds me of this person traveling along the rocky shore of the Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Cups is about seeing what's beyond where you're at, basically taking a sabbatical, taking a leave, taking a moment and saying, before I say yes or no, before I walk away from this, I'm going to hit the pause button and get some clarity, get some perspective. So we have a little bit of this, and then part of that may involve traveling and seeing what's beyond your current situation. And because this card was reversed, it could just be the universe saying, why not now? If not now, then when? You're basically being pushed and also given permission to explore. We also see some rocky shores ahead. So this is where the planning comes into play. So whenever there's any big move in your life, you plan for best and worst case scenarios. Not just the worst, but also the best. What happens if this succeeds? Am I ready for that? So give yourself some time to explore all options on the table. Let's look at the cards now, beginning with the deep past here. The Eight of Swords is a call to listen to your body. If something doesn't feel right or look right, time to take the blindfolds off and pay attention to it. The blindfolds cover both the ears and eyes, so if there's anything going on with your hearing or with your eyesight, obviously reach out to a professional. This is also about thinking of new things, so this could be getting a second opinion, really making sure that you understand something before you move forward with any major health decision. And if you do that, you should be in a good place. This is in the past, but this could be something that you're working on feeling more comfortable with. So just speaking up and asking questions. In addition to mental and emotional health, the Three of Swords can also indicate an increased focus on heart health. So if there's anything that goes on in your own family with respect to blood pressure, blood sugar, or again, heart health in general, work with your health professional and prioritize that. This is interesting because it's connected a little bit more to work, but it has to do with mental health too and happiness. Sometimes we get stuck in a situation where maybe things look good on paper or you're getting paid well, but there's a lack of challenge. So maybe you're bored, busy and bored. Maybe you're just feeling like this isn't what you had in mind. And again, it's a chance to explore what else you could be doing creatively and professionally. And we'll look at that more when we go into wealth. But it affects mental health because sometimes our mind just kind of is wandering when we should be focusing at work, or we wake up exhausted because there's that lack of curiosity or basically intrigue when you're starting the day there with whatever you're working on. So I understand it, I've been there, but again, it's in the card here, just see what else is out there. It's a chance to explore. You might be overdue for a vacation. This is also going to help you with clarity and basically getting that bird's eye view that we've been talking about. Finally, just having some fun. The Three of Cups is a card of celebration. It didn't come through reversed, so I'm not that worried about moderation, although it is something with a footnote. You don't want to overdo it with the Three of Cups. But based on everything else that I'm seeing, I think some of you are ready for a trip or ready for a party or ready for some time to yourself just to have some fun. And the cards definitely are encouraging all of the aforementioned. All right, let's go ahead now and take a look at wealth. One of my favorite totems came through here, the Firefly. The Firefly is an encouragement to basically embody the energy of both the Star and the Hermit. I mention that because you don't always see the Firefly. It's just when they choose to kind of light up. And this also has the energy of the Lovers because it's usually the male fireflies that are doing that blinking, and it's to attract a mate. So this is saying that if you're ready for an opportunity, you're emanating the Hermit, the Lovers, and the Star energy. Hermit is basically wisdom. The Star is authenticity, and the Lover's card rather is passion personified by those lovers. So you could be pulling in new things if you're in that frequency. There could be someone that sees you as a potential star player or perfect match for something. So I think this is a great time to explore new opportunities with work, new social opportunities for those of you that might be retired, just to put yourself out there, because this is a magnetic card, this is a magnetic card. This is a card of courtship and connecting with people, so is this. Again, a hidden lover's card here. So I feel like you could definitely land an interview or have a great heart-to-heart with somebody or meet a really good connection this month. Let's break it down on 3 different levels here. For those of you that are currently employed, those that might be starting or restarting your career, and those that are retired. If you're currently employed, there may be a lot of travel going on or a desire to travel more. So whatever the travel energy is, talk about it, because with Magician and High Priestess in your arsenal here, you have a chance to affect this, whether you want more or less of that. Money definitely is something to talk about. We're at the end of the year. It's a good time to talk about plans for 2024. It's hard to believe that that's just around the corner, but it is. This is making plans. This is making plans. So if you don't put it in writing or put it in a format that you can track, it's hard for you to hold your employer accountable. And it's also hard for them to show up if they don't know what your trajectory is. So stand up, stand out, talk about what it is that you want to do. You have a good chance of being heard. We don't have any negative cards here with respect to possibilities. We just see a little bit of frustration right now. So maybe there's not enough payment. Maybe the environment isn't what you want. There's a chance to find something new. There's a chance to move or transfer. There's a chance to meet someone new that could be a connection to new opportunities. So start to talk, start to look, start to explore. And people will take note. This is a great time to send out a resume, to redo your portfolio site, to have an important meeting, to build your network. All of those things are being supported here. And most importantly, plan ahead, because when you really see and know what you want, then the universe can come in and deliver that Ace of Wands. This is also an important time for you to have discussions around money and also what it is that you want to do in your overall trajectory and your career. Put it in the plan, like I've said. But if you ask for it, you have a good chance of receiving it. If you don't, it's just something that kind of continues to go unnoticed. So speak up around money. Have a really good negotiation if you need to. And this is a nice segue into those that are looking for work. So now let's look at those that are looking for work or looking to reboot their career. And this could be a student, a first-time worker, or again, someone coming back after a sabbatical. It's really important to do your homework on salaries. Talk to people. It's not something that gets published all the time, but if you dig around a little bit or if you talk to people that have been in the industry, they can give you a little bit of what's realistic so that you can go to that negotiation table really feeling like you have a say and you have a perspective. And believe in your value. These are all cards of belief and manifestation. If you can't really hold that belief, it's going to be hard to accomplish what you hope to at the table. I think it's also key to look for areas that are untapped. 8 of Swords reversed. This is an innovation card, and this is an innovation card. This only when reversed, but this always. So looking at areas where people never would have thought to create something, this is where you can actually thrive. And it may be a chance for you to also say, I've always wanted to do this, but I've never given myself permission. Why not do this now? You may also decide to go back to school and get some additional training or go for a second or more advanced degree. And if the money or resources allow, it could be quite fruitful. Ask, reach out. Your network is so important. If you don't have a network, it's time to start building a network and attending professional events. Traveling or moving for the new job could be also very advantageous. Six of Swords typically is going beyond state, city, country, or province, so you may need to move for that. It could be really great. There could be a great team there. I think the type of people that you work with, the culture, is really important to whatever it is that you decide to do. You have not only permission, but encouragement to do something that makes you happy. Your success should not come at the sacrifice of your happiness, and this is true of everybody. For those of you that are retired, definitely a focus on travel. For some of you, there's a focus on finding a group of people that you really, really like. It's not work so much as socializing. So maybe there is the added benefit of, an organization or a nonprofit, but it's really for the benefit of just being with other people, and I like that. Creative and skill-based energy. So some of you may decide to invest in yourself and say, you know what, I've always wanted to take a painting class, or I've always wanted to learn more about this. There doesn't have to be anything that's tangibly coming out of this other than it expands your worldview and it makes you feel creative. And it allows you to really tap into something that you never gave yourself a chance to do before. Great month for intuitive and creative development. So of course we're getting, big highlighted energy with that as well. As we look at the message in love, it's higher love coming through. It says your mind is an altar to source energy. This is a really elevated message to come through for love and partnerships. It makes sense, however, when you see that we have the Magician and the High Priestess. So some of you have found or are about to stumble upon someone who would be constituting a soulmate or described as that. And this is just someone who's really done the work, and it may come as a surprise when it finally happens, but it's exciting when it does. We also see that many of you are meeting people because of common interests. And this could be someone that helps you take that to the next level. It's interesting that the crown chakra is in the destiny position. So this is a time to really lean into creative, spiritual, and intellectual activities and endeavors. And it's a great way to meet like-minded individuals. Let's break this down into a more specific sort of section here. We're going to look at those in a loving relationship, looking for love, or happily single. If you're already in a loving relationship, let's focus on things that are going on around you first, and then we can lean into the strengths that I just talked about. I would say the single biggest challenge in an existing relationship could be one or both of you going through a setback or disappointment. And it is what looks like a shorter lived one here, because we have the Three of Swords and then it quickly passing here with the Six of Swords. But what's missing from the spread, we have swords a couple of times, 3 times, but we don't have any communication of the swords. So we really need a page or a knight or an ace of swords. Talk it through, folks, or spend some time and really just support one another so that you can start the healing process. On the bright side, whatever might be bothering one or both of you, we see intuitive and instinctive abilities to basically anticipate what's going on. So just open up the door to conversation and I think you'll be all right. There could also be a feeling of not being seen or heard. That is almost literally what's going on in the Eight of Swords. So one thing that you can do in an existing partnership is say, I see you, I appreciate you, I celebrate what you bring to this relationship. If you're feeling unseen, you can say, I really need to know where I stand on this. It's important to get some feedback or validation. What do you think? And if your partner can't meet you there, then that's clearly something that you would have to consider working on, and that's something that you can take up with them. But I do see that you have the tools to make it work, and the 2 cards that matter most, near future and outcome, are positive. If you can see it, if you can deal with it, then there's a good outcome here. There may be a need to get some space. There may be an overdue break if you guys are working too much. There's a lot of focus on work and money at the center here. So making sure that you're acknowledging each other, healing anything that's going on. And maybe for some of you, the spark of passion is missing because the Ace of Wands is reversed. So this is a chance to reignite the engines there a little bit. For those of you that have been in a relationship for a long time, you may be seeking out additional friends. And I think it's important as we are further on in our adult sort of experiences, whether it's married or whether it's single, to make sure that we're continuing to meet peers and to have activities where we're expanding our network. So this can be something that you do together as couples. It can also be something that you do individually, but it looks like making new friends is important. We want to avoid third parties coming into the mix. This can actually be coworkers, friends, and family members that come in and feel like they know what's best. It's not always someone that's trying to come in and shake up the mix of the marriage. It can just be someone that you already know that is just getting into your business. So in this case, basically communicating boundaries and expectations is really important. For those who are looking for love this month, we have a couple of really important things. First and foremost, focus on your own healing at the beginning of the month. So if there's anything that's going on where you're unhappy, where you need to sort out your emotions, this is important so that you can, just like in that house, hold space. These are some of the old barnacles, the old sort of things that we're holding on to. Once you release that, this card gets a little closer. It's quite possible you're pulling in a deep soul connection. There needs to be a mutual spark though. The Ace of Wands in reverse can show me a false potential partner at first, but then after a couple of other dates or putting yourself out there again, you meet the right connection. It should feel good. It should feel mutual. The only thing with the Three of Cups is that this one typically comes through when you're meant to enjoy the process of courtship and dating, not necessarily immediately stepping into something serious. Get to know the person, make sure that you both have the same sort of focus and goals, because this card is about making sure that there's an alignment there and that there is also that mutual spark. I can't underline that enough because it keeps showing up here in the environment. So healing, focusing on your own sort of happiness, feeling and trusting what those feelings are when you connect with someone. And if it isn't there, to keep looking and knowing that it may take a little time, a little traveling, or it may be 2 or 3 times removed out of your current friend group. So it could be a friend of a friend of a friend that you end up connecting with. Again, here, it seems like the timing is unexpected. It's a little faster than you think. And so there still may be some healing that you need to do first. For those who are single and happy, I think this card is the most important. It's all about expansion of the mind, and this could be in education, this could be in spiritual development. This could also be in travel, since we had Six of Swords, High Priestess, and the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So all of the things I just mentioned are connected with that. Not only that, but we're going to segue now into the Destiny card, which is basically about opening the third eye. So I think this is the time, no matter where you're at, but especially if you're single and happy, to focus on what's next. And if you've ever wanted to practice your mediumship skills a little bit, or your own tarot knowledge, this is a time to go a little bit deeper into that. I focus a lot on my dream work as well, because dreams often show me what I'm missing in day-to-day life, what other people are thinking, what spirit wants me to see, and sometimes what I've forgotten about my own path. And since a big part of this was alignment with source, there could be some really great things coming through with dreams. So journaling could be a really great thing right now. And then also, if you can write it down or draw it out in some sort of like physical form, you're telling the universe you're ready. If you can see it, you can create it, you can manifest it. So really lean into your sort of third eye exercises with both intuitive development and practicing manifestation. I feel like you could make a lot of progress in that respect. Let's go ahead now and take a look specifically at some sun, rising, and moon sign messages and see what's in store. Sun, rising, and moon. All right, beginning with sun sign messages first. really deep friendships and core relationships could be forming. The Four of Wands is very favorable when it comes to any sort of foundational relationship in your life, whether it's a friend, a coworker, or a marriage partner. This is really, really great. We also see the expansion of families for some of you as well, because we have the rabbits, a symbol of fertility, and also abundance. So I think it's important I talked about it earlier, but networking is key. And if you're looking for love this month, you have a great chance of landing on a really great foundational relationship. And again, even if it's business or friend, this is the kind of person that you want in your life. It's a ride or die sort of friend, which is great. Holding space, sometimes you only see the Four Wands, you don't see the couple, or in this case, the bunnies. So know that if you're doing the work, people will find you. Just continue to trust and lean into what it is that you're building as far as that foundation in your life. And again, good things are en route. Seems like the focus for you, though, is relationship and I would say also like networking, okay? Let's go ahead now and look at rising sign messages. We have the Eight of Wands. It's a busy month. There's a lot of people coming in and out, kind of like a revolving door. So, one of the things you want to do is keep your GPS tuned in so that you're not kind of like getting confused in direction. Make sure that you're delegating and not feeling like you have to hold up all of this sort of energy on your own. Reach out for help if you need to, too. A lot of times people forget that the Eight of Wands is such a community card, but you see it here with all the animals. So take a look around, be grateful for the momentum that you've built, keep up the pace. And again, we have a focus here on community. So maybe getting a little bit more involved in an activity or a group that really connects with your core values would be something that would be great. In business and in personal development, this is basically just a really nice sustainable card where you see movement, development, and growth. So a lot to like with that. Focusing now on Moon, you have the Four of Swords in the reverse state, which can sometimes indicate a schedule that isn't something that you can maintain. There's too much going on. There's not enough time for rest and relaxation. It can be burning the candle at both ends. It's also just a call to focus on both the quality and the quantity of sleep. So here's a sort of untraditional approach on this. Let's look at the traditional one because it's a little bit better oriented to what this provides. So we can see someone who's at rest. It can also be putting something to rest because this is a sepulcher. We see the Three Swords representing the Three of Swords. The pain is now dissipating. And that fourth sword is an idea, an opportunity, something that now is coming forth because you've given yourself a chance to rest. When you go and you're constantly on the fight or flight mode, and that's kind of what she has here. She's even got that sword ready to defend herself out of nowhere. There's never a chance to rest. So give yourself a chance to just let it go. And this could be also a call to release. So if you've been holding on to something, whether it's pain, whether it's something that you've been working on, it's time now to let it go and to allow yourself a chance to develop a new idea, to develop a new passion, or to move in a new direction. All right, so those are the messages with respect to Moon. And now let's move on to your final question. This is a chance for you to ask anything that I haven't covered so far. So think about what it is in your life that you need a little bit more guidance on. And let's give the cards a shuffle and see what's coming through. We have the Page of Cups. Page of Cups did come through in the reverse state. So as a yes or no, it's saying not quite yet because there's a little bit of emotional energy to release. And that's why the Three of Swords was present in this reading. Once you do that, once you let that go, heal yourself, allow yourself to see past a possible rejection or maybe sort of a little bit of a roadblock or delay, then you start to see something really cool and you're like, oh, that's why this happened. This was something that is connecting me to maybe something that I never imagined. So there is a hidden blessing, and that's what this Page of Cups is about. It's also about celebrating the love within. I mentioned earlier this week when I was pulling a single one card, 1 minute reading, that only you can fill up the Ace of Cups. So this Page of Cups is reminding themselves, oh yeah, I've got everything that it takes. I don't need to seek validation, love, support externally. It's nice to have, but it's not a need to have. So they're reconnecting with their self-worth. They're loving themselves, and then they're kind of then seeing all the opportunities that have been waiting for them. I love that she's wearing those lotus blossoms. Look at how strong she is. This is a reminder that you've gone through a lot and you deserve happiness and opportunity and all of the great things that the universe wants to bring forth. It's also time to get out of that. It's kind of like a fish in a small little fish tank. You need to swim free. You need to explore everything that's in the wild beyond there. So this is a chance to get out of the box or out of the bag in this particular illustration. A page reverse needs to release whatever it is that they're holding on to. So again, one more time, we're getting a call to let go. And if you can do that this month, folks, it feels like some really great things could be coming in. And yes, you can find love with the Page of Cups, but the healing has to happen first, or the mental or the sort of heart reset. Once you've done that, then really great things are aligning. And again, as I look at everything this month for you, movement and celebration are right here towards the end, and your ability to manifest kind of off the charts because you have two cards with spiritual energy right at the center. Good luck, folks. I hope you have a great month ahead. Please keep me posted in the comments as things start to unfold in the next month. And if you enjoyed what you saw here, do me a quick favor. It only takes a couple of clicks, but it makes a big difference. If you're brand new, make sure you hit subscribe, then hit the bell and opt into all notifications. For longtime viewers, hit the thumbs up once. It's a great way to help others find this video and let me know that you also like it. You can follow me on social media to make sure that you never miss a future reading or any news or information. It's at Nicholas Ashbaugh. No changes in spelling, no extra letters, no hidden accounts. So if you ever have any questions, you can always take a look at my website to make sure that you're getting the right links. And remember that I do not offer private readings. That way, if someone messages you on social media, you can just block and report them and you know it's not me. To show support, and I would love to have more members, and I might be doing some new things in the future with memberships, feel free to become a member or give a super sticker, super chat, or super thanks. All of these help me basically have the resources to do all the videos that you see here, so thank you in advance. And I drop new videos every Monday, Thursday, and Friday, and I do live streams every weekend, plus a daily card read as well. That, my friends, is everything for today. I just want to say thanks for spending some time with me. You have a lot of choices here on YouTube, and it's been my honor and pleasure to be able to help you out with, again, this quick map of the next month ahead. Until I see you again, take care of yourself. Much love and light.